One's leaving, is it? Give me a sec.
Dead. Two dead. There's been a lot of talk about 6 Days in Fallujah and its incredibly realistic gameplay. But should you buy it? I'm going to break this game down and give you insight as to the best and worst parts of this game. By the end of this video, you will be sure as to whether it's a worthy purchase for you or not. Now, it's important to note that this game is nothing like Call of Duty or any other run and gun style game that you might be used to. It's designed to make you understand how it feels to actually be in the heat of the battle and give you genuine insight as to what those soldiers went through in Iraq. I will confidently say that 6 Days in Fallujah is one of the most immersive and realistic shooters you can play today. So let's begin on that particular topic. The gaming experience. You should probably already know this, but 6 Days in Fallujah is actually based on true events. In 2004, the US, UK, and Iraqi soldiers led by the US Army attacked insurgent forces, aka Al-Qaeda, to take back the city of Fallujah in what is known as the bloodiest battle involving American troops since the Vietnam War in 1968. The creators of this game actually utilized the stories and feedback of hundreds of surviving soldiers and Iraqi civilians to recreate these events with authenticity and respect. Well, respect earned, as I would say in GTA terms, because this game feels real like no other. Let's start with the audio. Whilst it isn't perfect, it's incredible how a sniper bullet flying past your head can make the hairs on your arms stand up. Or simply knocking over a bottle inside of a building will give enough information to your enemies as to your whereabouts. If you were to close your eyes whilst gunfire surrounded you in the game, provided you have a decent headset, you would truly feel you're in the middle of a real battle. Additionally, the in-game communication is unique and seriously accurate. For example, when you're communicating with your squad in close proximity, the communication is pretty clear.
Careful coming across.
However, as soon as you enter into a different room, it also accurately reflects that by dampening your audio. If you happen to be too close to a grenade blast or have been injured, your hearing is affected and struggle to hear anything clearly. When you're away from your squad mates, you can use your radio to communicate, but only at the sacrifice of being able to shoot your weapon. And if you use your radio within close proximity, you'll also hear your own comms through the playback of their radio. As you can imagine, all of these audio features are a large part of the reason as to why this game feels so real. Now combine that fantastic audio and communication with incredible lighting and visual effects. Throw a grenade into a building and the dust will make it really difficult to see until the dust settles and the air is cleared. The addition of a torch when breaching a building will often mean the difference between life and death, but the light can also give away your position. The features in the architecture are graphically impressive, but I do think there is a lot more room for improvement there. Perhaps if the creators of the game had a higher budget, but overall it still looks great. I would say most of the game looks visually appealing, but there are some glitchy animations and effects that need improvement, like when bandaging your arm or applying your own first aid. You're often bandaging your arm through a wall and just the action itself feels low budget. Other than that though, I think the game looks stunning in a sad war-torn city type of way. So, incredible visuals, scarily accurate audio, but how is the gameplay itself? Let's talk about the guns. Whilst there aren't many weapons to use and you are locked into using whatever weapon your class is assigned with, which funnily enough is also auto-assigned, they actually feel clean to use. I particularly like how you check to see how much ammo is in your magazine before opting in for a full reload. That whole animation is a very nice touch. And unlike most other shooters, bullets don't just automatically stack from mag to mag, which is basic common sense in a realistic game. If you reload with 10 bullets left in that magazine, you'll be able to access that magazine later with only the 10 bullets that remained. The recoil on each weapon is controllable, but also depicts how the gun would actually kick, and I love how that feels. This forces you to be a lot less of a spray and pray type of player and actually pick your shots. Plus, you kind of want to reserve your ammo. The switch between sights is something I'd like to see in more first-person shooters. I think that's a really nice touch. Being able to use the irons when you have an optic attached is one of the many great features in this game, but I don't particularly like how the handgun sits when it's not aimed in, but that's just me being picky. Leaning is not uncommon in shooters like how you can lean in Rainbow Six Siege, but it does serve well in this game. There's an auto lean feature which at times feels really nice as if you're only slightly picking into a room or gradually leaning further over to the room, but on some walls it's disruptive and exposes your body more than you would prefer. With the movement, whilst the feedback from soldiers says it's very accurate, it just feels really slow. slow. Now, of course, I main Call of Duty and I'm not expecting any soldier in this game to slide cancel, but I don't like how the sprint feature only works properly when you are in an open space, and that's only sometimes. In buildings, there are times I'd want to move faster, but it's also limited as to how you can maneuver in certain areas of the map. The sprint button doesn't necessarily mean the same amount of sprint in each scenario. Also, climbing over obstacles feels way too slow. Of course, these soldiers have a lot of heavy gear, but vaulting over a low wall doesn't feel like it should be this slow. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for tactical slow peak, clearing corners and moving through room to room at a steady pace. There are occasions where I just want to move somewhere quickly. One of the best features in this game and one of the biggest reasons for its success is the unique and constantly changing map layout. Every single time you deploy into the game, not only are the buildings positioned differently, but the layout inside each one of those buildings is also different. This keeps the game interesting, and honestly, without this feature, you'd probably get bored after completing the missions a couple times. What are the missions exactly? Well, we are only in the early access part of the game, so we only have access to the fire team missions. They are set to release the campaign and operator missions at a later date, but so far this is all we got. The fire team missions only really offer 4 different missions, and that's why the change of layout is so important. If the layouts and positions of the insurgents didn't change, you'd simply memorize the best routes, know where the enemies are going to pop out from, and you'd get bored of a mission pretty quickly. Because this changes every time, it keeps it interesting and makes you want to keep playing. So what's my verdict on the game so far? I think they achieved what they were set out to achieve in creating a game that completely immerses the player into it. I truly feel the heart racing, the hairs rising, and sometimes even the butt clenching. They really created something that feels real like no other first-person shooter I've ever played. I feel like the game itself has incredible potential to do far greater things because in its current state, I don't see a crazy amount of longevity. For example, if they introduced a VR version, that would be mind-blowing and would definitely convince me to buy a VR headset. Or if they were to introduce a player versus player mode, which I don't exactly know how they would execute, but it would be something that would be really cool. Now, of course, we have to note that we only have access to the far northern part of Fallujah, and as the game progresses, they're set to release further parts south, giving us new parts of the map, some new AI to interact with, some civilians, and some things to change it up and keep it interesting. But does that mean you should buy the game today? In my opinion, it's worth every cent. The game itself is fun, sure, but the fact that this game gave me a crazily accurate perspective as to what it felt like to be a real soldier in a war, for that reason alone, I do believe that every gamer who loves first-person shooters should play this game. I've put quite a lot of hours into 6 Days in Fallujah, and I will happily award this game an 8 out of 10. Now, I am going to show you some raw footage from one of my favorite missions in the game, but if you found this video to be helpful in making it easier to decide as to whether you want to buy this game or not, please do make sure you hit that like button. And if you want to see more reviews like this one, be sure to subscribe. And for anyone that wants to support me directly, my link tree is in the description below with all of my socials and partners. That's all from me. I won't waste any more of your time. Let's get into the game.
Are we gonna clear this?
Go in the first row on the right. Another grenade going in.
Oh, come on. Dude, it always happens right after the AAV.
Did you die? No one dead.
Move it, devil dogs. They're hurting up there.
Raising this dog. We cleared it. Have we cleared every ground floor?
First floor's clearance. Move on second.
And IED here. IED in the last room.
Osborne 3, they ring this building to blow. It's one big daisy chain. Roger. Can you disarm it? Second floor right now, you guys. I can pull this thing off the front, I guess.
good. Let's get room 2. One dead. Nice, that's clear.
Left.
Just watching left, that's me, friendly.
Right, clear. Clear left.
Yeah, yeah.
Clear left. Good.
Let's go back to the breezeway.
Crossing.
One dead in the left room, first left room. Reloading.
Yeah, the right.
That's clear.
He's down. You hit.
You?
All clear?
Let's move back.
Let's go to
Yeah,
the
all
second
clear.
floor.
Let's move back. Letting you know I'm ran on ammo. 2 mags remaining. Alright. Breach her up. Oh.
Yo, you took one, you okay?
Yeah.
Room 1 clear?
Right room is clear. Hurt beds. Breach left room. Open left room first. Clear.
Clear.
Alright, opening. You down? Shit's alright. Oh, fuck.
How are you guys all good?
One day.
Go to apartment 2.
Careful!
Close left is good. I'm gonna go left side, you go right. They're on left. Went through the last door. Me, friendly.
Alright.
All
Yes,
clear.
sir.
Go to apartment 3. I'll breach. I'll say dock, you can head over me. Right side. One dead, I'm here. I need to get into this right room. I'm just gonna take cover and check for wins. Good.
Spartan 3, we found another. Acknowledge. Check the other rooms for more.
Dead. Left side clear. I got you.
Stay with me, brother. I'm patching you up.
There's an IED in here that we're gonna disarm.
Yep.
I got you back.
Back door. Watching the breezeway just temporarily. I'm gonna disarm, you watch that door.
Okay.
Disarmed. Checking for ammo. Yeah, let's go Go back to the breezeway. Go take the next level. Hold this position. I'm gonna follow behind
On the right side. Alright.
you. Left side?
Okay. The last one.
Martin 3, first squad. I think we got the last of them.
Nice, let's clear these last two
Get our
apartments.
boys out of there.
You can go up.
Now we have to clear the last two apartments.
Not really. We can
don't?
finish it. No, we don't.
I say we clear them. I'll get left side.
Okay.
One through, friendly.
Right side to
Yep, it's clear. Let's go to apartment 3. One dead. Checking the right side. Let's right, let's clear. You clear.
Right side to
All clear. Let's do it. On the one dead. Gotta reload.
Oop.
Shit! I think someone's coming up here.
Hold on, guy,
Martin 3,
Fox.
we got our boys.
Oh, yeah.
Bring it